May the light of divine grace shine upon you in this sacred moment, dear friend. Have you ever stopped to truly wonder why your eyes carry the exact shade they do? Perhaps you have looked in the mirror countless times throughout your life, without realizing that the color staring back at you holds profound secrets about journeys your soul has traveled long before this current existence began. What if I told you that your eyes are not simply biological features determined by random genetic combinations, but rather carefully chosen markers that reveal the spiritual path you have walked through multiple lifetimes? Today, we are going to explore a truth that remains hidden from most people, a wisdom that can completely transform how you understand yourself and your purpose in this world. Your eyes are far more than windows to your soul, as the ancient saying suggests. They are living chronicles of everything your spirit has experienced across the vast expanse of time, subtle imprints left behind by lessons learned, battles fought, loves cherished, and missions accepted in realms beyond our current understanding. According to the spiritual teachings brought to us through Allan Kardec and the profound doctrine of Spiritism, nothing about our physical form happens by mere chance or accident. Every single detail of our body was meticulously planned before we returned to this earthly plane, chosen with great wisdom by the spiritual mentors who guide us and by our own souls during that sacred period when we prepared for reincarnation. The color of your eyes is part of this divine blueprint, carrying within it specific energetic vibrations that connect directly to the evolutionary needs of your eternal spirit. When we look into someone's eyes, we are witnessing something far deeper than physical beauty or ordinary appearance. We are standing before a portal that reveals ancient stories, commitments made in spiritual dimensions, karmic debts waiting to be resolved, and virtues that must be cultivated during this lifetime. Consider brown eyes, which are the most common shade found among humanity. These warm, earthy tones carry a vibration deeply connected to the ground beneath our feet, to persistent labor, and to the patient unfolding of growth through steady effort over time. Those who are born with brown eyes frequently carry in their souls the imprint of past lives dedicated to humble service, to cultivating patience through repeated trials, and to learning through constant physical work that shaped their character gradually. These are spirits who often lived as farmers tilling soil under harsh suns, as craftspeople working with their hands to create simple necessities, as ordinary people who built their spiritual virtues through daily dedication without seeking recognition or glory. Now they return to continue this foundational work, this building of solid character, this grounding in reality. For this reason, individuals with brown eyes tend to be practical thinkers, realistic in their expectations, and deeply reliable in their commitments. But they may also carry within themselves a certain difficulty in dreaming beyond immediate circumstances, in believing that rapid transformation is possible, because their souls remain saturated with memories of long journeys where everything required tremendous time and repetitive effort to manifest. The karmic challenge for these souls is learning to balance their natural stability with lightness of spirit, their need for security with faith in miraculous possibilities. Blue eyes bring forth an entirely different vibration, one that is more ethereal and less connected to physical density. According to reports from spiritual mediums and those who have studied these matters deeply, people with blue eyes frequently carry memories of existences focused more on mental and spiritual planes than on material concerns. They may have lived as scholars absorbed in ancient texts, as philosophers contemplating the nature of existence, as monks and nuns who withdrew from society to pursue inner truth, or simply as individuals who naturally turned away from worldly affairs to seek higher understanding. This lighter shade reflects a soul that seeks elevation above earthly matters, that yearns to comprehend the deepest mysteries of life and existence, but that may also struggle with the practical and emotional demands that come with being fully human in physical form. Those born with blue eyes often feel an inexplicable longing for something they cannot name or describe, as though part of their being remains forever elsewhere, dwelling in another dimension or spiritual realm they cannot consciously remember. The karma these souls must work through involves learning to incarnate fully, to be completely present in the here and now, to dive deeply into human experience without constantly escaping into abstract ideas or mental constructions. Green eyes are considered the rarest and most mysterious from a spiritual perspective. They represent a combination of opposing forces that meet at a delicate point of balance. Green is the color of healing, of renewal, of nature constantly regenerating itself through cycles of death and rebirth. Spirits who return with green eyes generally carry within them the mission to heal ancient wounds, both their own deep scars and the suffering of others they encounter. They may have been healers in past lives, physicians working with limited tools, nurses tending to the dying, folk healers using herbs and prayers, or simply souls who dedicated their existence to caring for others during times of great need. But this color also reveals a strong internal duality, because green is born from the mixture of blue and yellow, from sky meeting earth, from spirit blending with matter. Therefore, people with green eyes often live intensely within this dance between two worlds, sometimes feeling torn between who they want to become and who they need to be in practical terms. The karmic lesson here is integrating these opposing forces, accepting that they can be simultaneously dreamers and pragmatists, sensitive and strong, vulnerable and powerful. Hazel or amber eyes, with that golden glow that seems to catch fire when light touches them, carry a vibration of spiritual leadership and special missions. These are souls that in previous lives held positions of influence, served as community leaders, acted as spiritual guides, or were individuals who impacted many people around them through their presence and wisdom. Now, they return with this distinctive mark in their eyes to remember that they still carry within themselves the capacity to illuminate paths for others, but also to learn that true leadership is never about wielding power over people, but rather about serving them with humility. These individuals frequently feel a strong internal calling, a restlessness that pushes them to seek something greater than themselves, to make a real difference in the world around them. But they must be extremely careful not to fall into the trap of spiritual pride, which is precisely what caused them to stumble in previous existences. The karmic challenge is using this inner light to serve rather than to dominate, to embrace others rather than to stand above them seeking recognition. Gray eyes, or eyes with gray tones, are less common and bring a neutral energy, almost as if the soul were at a transition point, still deciding which direction to take on its evolutionary journey. People with this eye color frequently carry memories of lives where they needed to choose between two opposing paths, where they lived through profound moral dilemmas, where they hesitated between what was right and what was wrong, unable to commit fully to either direction. Now, they return with this undefined color in their eyes to relearn how to make decisions with clarity, to take firm positions, to avoid remaining neutral when the moment demands courage to choose. These are spirits that must develop inner firmness, conviction, and the bravery to stand for something meaningful. The karma here is transforming neutrality into wisdom rather than allowing it to become mere avoidance of responsibility. There are also those who are born with eyes of different colors on each side, a condition known as heterochromia. From a spiritual viewpoint, this can indicate a soul that has lived extremely distinct experiences in past lives, that has passed through opposing extremes, that has known both profound light and deep shadow in intense ways. These people carry within themselves the mark of duality in a visible manner, like a constant reminder that they came here to integrate opposites, to prove that it is possible to contain multitudes and still remain whole. The karma of these souls runs deep because they need to reconcile within themselves parts that seem contradictory, to accept that they can be simultaneously rational and emotional, strong and fragile, serious and playful. It is crucial to understand that the color of your eyes does not determine who you are or limit what you can become, but rather offers clues about where you have come from spiritually and where you need to go next. Just like blood type or other physical characteristics, eye color is a subtle language that the universe uses to remind us of our journeys, our commitments, and our lessons. When we look in the mirror and see our own eyes staring back, we are standing before a reflection that goes far beyond the surface of physical appearance. We are seeing the history of our soul impressed into matter. We are receiving a silent message about who we were and about who we have the potential to become. According to Allan Kardec, who dedicated his life to organizing and sharing the spiritual truths revealed through countless communications with elevated spirits, every detail of our physical body was planned with love and precision. Nothing was left to random chance or biological accident. The color of our eyes, just like all our other characteristics, forms part of a larger plan, an educational project designed for our evolution. When we truly understand this, we stop looking at ourselves with superficiality and begin to see ourselves as divine works in constant construction, where each feature serves a purpose, each marking carries meaning. Many people wonder why they feel immediate affinity with someone simply by looking into their eyes. This happens because eyes emit energetic frequencies that are captured by our spiritual sensitivity. When two souls that have known each other in past lives meet again, the eyes recognize each other before the conscious mind comprehends what is happening. It is a silent dialogue between spirits that have already walked together, that have already loved one another, that have already hurt each other, that have already forgiven. For this reason, a gaze can comfort and heal, but it can also disturb and bring to the surface dormant memories that consciousness is not yet ready to access. There are cases where people experience changes in eye color throughout their lives, especially during the early years. This is not merely a biological matter, but also a spiritual one. As a child gradually adapts to the physical body, as the spirit settles into the new incarnation, subtle adjustments occur, and eye color may reflect these changes. It is as though the soul were tuning the instrument, finding the exact vibration it needs to accomplish its mission. On the other hand, there are also situations where eye color remains exactly the same throughout an entire lifetime, indicating a firmness of purpose, a constancy in the evolutionary path that the spirit has chosen to follow. When we pray while looking into our own eyes in the mirror, we are doing much more than an exercise in self-knowledge. We are establishing a profound dialogue with our own soul. We are recognizing that we are far more than we appear to be. We are honoring all the lives we have lived and all the lessons we have accumulated across time. And if you have made it this far, if these words have touched something deep within you, know that it was not by accident or random chance. Your spirit has recognized an ancient truth, and your eyes, these same eyes that you see in the mirror every single day, are reminding you of something important that you must not forget. Now, before we continue deeper into this journey, I want to ask you something from my heart. If what you have heard so far has moved you, if you feel that these words were meant for you in this exact moment, would you do something for me? Would you take just a second to subscribe to this channel? Not because I need numbers or statistics, but because I truly believe that when you subscribe, you are making a commitment to your own spiritual growth. You are saying yes to more truth, more light, more understanding. And please, leave a comment below telling me what color your eyes are. I want to know your story. I want to hear what you felt while listening to these words. Let us create together a circle of light where each of us can recognize in others the same sacred journey we are all walking. Spirituality teaches us that eyes do not merely see the external world, but also project outward the internal world we carry within. When we are at peace, our eyes shine with unmistakable light. When we are disturbed, they become opaque, lifeless, dull. The light that dwells within us manifests first through our gaze, and this is why it is so vitally important that we care for not only our physical body, but especially our thoughts and feelings. Because everything we cultivate internally eventually reflects in our eyes, which serve as mirrors of our spiritual condition. There are spirits who pass from physical life, and, when observed on the spiritual plane by clairvoyant mediums, appear with eyes completely different from those they had on earth. This happens because, upon being freed from the physical body, the appearance of the spirit begins to reflect with much greater fidelity its true evolutionary state. A spirit that lived immersed in addictions and malicious intentions may appear with darkened eyes, without brightness, even reddish or completely extinguished. Meanwhile, an elevated spirit that lived in love and charity presents luminous eyes, full of life, radiating a light that comforts those who see it. This shows us that the color of physical eyes is only a temporary expression, but the light we radiate through them is eternal and depends entirely on our choices. For this reason, it is so important that we remain vigilant about our gaze. What have you been looking at? What have you been seeking to see? Have your eyes turned toward what builds up or toward what tears down? Have they sought to see the good in people, or only their flaws and failures? Because just as the mouth speaks from what fills the heart, the eyes reveal where the soul is walking. When we choose to look with compassion, with forgiveness, with love, we are purifying not only our spirit, but also the energetic vibration of our own eyes. There exists a very ancient spiritual practice that consists of looking into another person's eyes for several minutes in complete silence, without speaking, simply observing and being observed. Those who have tried this know how profoundly transformative it can be. Because in that deep meeting of gazes, masks fall away, defenses dissolve, and what remains is the naked truth of the soul. It is impossible to lie through the eyes. They reveal everything. This is why we often avoid looking directly into someone's eyes, because we know that there we will be seen completely, without filters, without disguises. But when we have the courage to sustain that gaze, when we allow another to truly see us, we open space for profound healing, for spiritual recognition that transcends words. In spiritual healing work, magnetic passes often begin with the medium looking directly into the eyes of the person being attended. This is not merely a symbolic gesture, but a real technique of energetic connection. Through the eyes, the medium can perceive blockages, ancient pains, unresolved traumas. And through the eyes as well, the medium sends fluids of light, of peace, of renewal. The eyes are like doors that open from inside to outside and from outside to inside. When we learn to use them with spiritual consciousness, they become powerful tools of transformation. Allan Kardec often taught that the gaze of truly enlightened beings carried such penetrating yet loving quality that those who encountered it could never forget. It was a gaze that saw the truth of each soul, but did not condemn, only embraced with unconditional acceptance. And this is the invitation we receive as well, to develop a gaze that is simultaneously truthful and compassionate, that sees flaws without judging, that recognizes pain without drowning in it, that celebrates light without becoming prideful. Children are born with pure eyes, full of curiosity, without malice, without prejudice. But as they grow, as they absorb the influences of the world around them, their eyes gradually lose that original brightness. This is why Jesus taught that one must be born again, become like a child, to enter the kingdom of heaven. And part of that rebirth involves recovering the purity of our gaze, returning to see the world with wonder, with gratitude, with innocence. Not a naive innocence, but a conscious innocence that chooses to see good, even while knowing evil exists, that chooses to believe even after being disappointed. When you look at the starry sky at night, when you observe a flower opening its petals, when you contemplate the face of someone you love deeply, you are feeding your eyes with light. And that light, gradually, transforms your entire spiritual vibration. On the other hand, when you constantly expose yourself to violent images, to disturbing news, to content that awakens fear, anger, or uncontrolled desire, you are contaminating your eyes with dense vibrations that accumulate in your energetic field and eventually manifest as physical or emotional illnesses. Take care of what you see, because your eyes are sacred. There are people who were born blind, or who lost their vision throughout life. From a spiritual perspective, this can represent a very specific trial, often related to the misuse of vision in previous existences. Perhaps they were people who used their gaze to judge harshly, to envy, to covet what belonged to others, to wound with looks of contempt. Now they return without physical sight, to learn to see with the eyes of the soul, to develop inner perception, to discover that there exists a way of seeing that goes far beyond the eyes of the body. And many of these people, when they find spirituality, when they comprehend the meaning of their trial, develop an impressive spiritual clairvoyance, becoming true guides for others who still see only with physical eyes but remain blind to the realities of spirit. This teaches us that true vision does not depend on eyes, but on the light we carry within ourselves. As we reach the end of our time together today, I want to make one more heartfelt request. If these words have touched your heart deeply, if you felt something within you shift while reflecting on the color of your eyes and everything it might represent, please share this video with someone you love. Because spiritual knowledge is never meant to be hoarded. It is meant to be multiplied and spread. And perhaps, by sharing, you will be helping another soul awaken to a truth they needed to hear at exactly this moment in their journey. Please write in the comments below what color your eyes are and tell us if you identified with what was shared here. I genuinely want to know your story, your experiences, your feelings, and if you have any questions or if you would like us to explore any other topic related to spirituality and eternal life, please suggest it as well. This space belongs to all of us who are walking together in this search for truth and evolution. Subscribe if you have not already done so, because every week we bring new content that can illuminate your path and strengthen your faith in the continuity of life. And always remember this: you are so much more than what you see in the mirror. You are an eternal spirit, deeply loved by God, walking back home through many lives, many lessons, many transformations. May divine light always be with you, illuminating your eyes and your heart. Until next time, with all the love and all the light we can possibly share together on this beautiful journey.